Alright guys, this is one of these few videos where I actively decide to, no, I'm gonna just shit on all my German viewers. I'm just gonna do something that I want to do right now, which is an English cast, but this time I have very good reason for it, because I actually played this game I think a week back or something, and as the title already suggests, it is about a very specific build order, a build order that is usually reserved for the lower 1200 ELO plays and below that, I suppose, but not this time. Not this time. And because it was so inventive and creative, the way that this build order was pulled off, in my opinion, I just wanted to show you how it worked, what happens here, and also this is being done in English just because the guy that played it is also not a native German speaker, and I wanted, you know, this is kind of a tribute to him here, really. So I'm just making sure that he gets the video and he sees that I'm not here to just make a video and flame him to death, but rather to appreciate his build order and the way that he played it. First of all, macro clean as well, perfect stuff there. And I'll show you the deck in a second once it's picked, of course. But France and Haudenosaunee is generally a weird matchup because Haude has the better timings, no questions about that, while France, of course, has the much better eco and late game. So your trades should be better with Haude because the units are better in most cases. But usually, when it comes to the massing phases of the game, so where you really build up a lot of units, you can't compete as Haudenosaunee with France. You might win the first fight, but the remass is going to be difficult. If you don't trade really goddamn well, then you're just going to lose in the long run, especially because France with the newer cards just has really decent skirms as well, double carded if I remember correctly, and still and a better eco, meaning that they're in the comparison of what they can feel eco-wise and also army-wise, with only 80 vills being on the map, they're just much better, no? Because they can have an army of 120 pop, where Haudenosaunee only gets 100, of course, if they even get to full eco potential. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it on chaos point of view at this point, and it's called Destroyer. Makes sense. Second card in the H1 is High Chief. It's not being sent yet, but it might be later. We've got the four healers. I just want to say dancers, but of course healers. The Town Destroyer, a card that is hated by many, but only really appreciated by a select few. And it's never the opponent, usually. Yeah. I knew I couldn't take that fight. I was a bit disappointed that I didn't get that 90 wood. But it's bad, but it's not a disaster. Me on the other side, idling at 3 minutes is a bit of a shame against Haudenosaunee, who got all the treasures that he needed to go up in a perfect time, I think. But he's idling as well a bit, maybe because, yeah, he just had to run around quite a lot. He's herding. He's not the best in this situation, but he doesn't need it to be, because the timing that he's going to get out of this is just so fast that I can't even think about going out there and raiding him, to be honest, because I need all my units in my base. Why is that? Oh, you will see in a second, my friends. So I just played casually. I mean, I saw the Town Destroyer and I thought, yeah, but come on, nobody plays it in the fast age of Town Destroyer style, right? No, well, this guy actually likes to do that. He's on 500 HP, so not great, but not terrible either. He's just, you know, bitch slapping me back to my base. Fair point. His Warheart is going out there rather aggressively as well, of course, makes sense. And his Raven dude, he's just, you know, he's just sitting there. He's not seeing anything. The only thing he sees of my base is a house, and that is all that he needs to see, because that is exactly what he's going for in a second. He starts sieging it now, and I'm thinking, yeah, whatever, he's not sieging my TC, so it's an accident. All right, I'm going to handle that in a second. But now that the goddamn cart comes through, of course, that thing's already lost 100 HP, and now he's just going to siege down my one and only house in a matter of seconds, right before I age up. And I get some damage out on him, but of course it's not enough, and I don't get any shipment in before that happens. I'm just idle as fuck right now, and he is actually sending through healers as his next card. He's also building arenas, which is the right call here. He's got some peeps and wood. Why healers, so you ask? And I had a lengthy conversation with him about that right after the match. The first thing I wrote to him, you know, the first thing I answered him after the match, and I'm going to spoil the result here. I lost. Was why basically? Why do you play it like this, and why the healers? I don't get it. What's the idea behind those guys? And he just said, well, two things. They tank a fuck ton of damage, and they heal up your scout, and your scout is your main damage dealer, army buffer in this scenario. Also, don't forget, those guys get 36 HP on top of that. So they basically have 400 HP. Sorry. It's just so freaking hilarious. Because he's just getting healed up here while building more army. I actually tried to replicate this build order against the AI in the skirmish. And I thought about, because you stack a lot of wood here, about just going for one of the plazas, basically. And just, you know, putting those guys on the plaza to get some more XP and to get faster shipments while I'm idle and so on and so forth. It's a bit hard to do, but it feels like a solid thing that you could try. Of course, I got a stable up first, which is a stupid idea. If I had gotten a stable instead of the barracks, I meant barracks. If I had gotten a stable instead of the Rex, then I would have been able to at least field 3 more of those guys, I think. And then I could probably have dealt with this entire thing at once. His healers are staying back. He's just trying to, you know, be annoying there. And that's a moment that I'm proud of. I thought about it. Just melee those guys with everything I have. And I'm doing a decent amount of damage, actually. I'm losing the muskets, of course, but my chief is here. And now I'm just killing those Aenas. The Gatling Aenas is Platypus from the Sandro's Discord used to call them in a recent cast. Well, yeah, and I was confident. I thought, yeah, I got his mask down. I'm not in the greatest position that I could possibly be in, but I got some stuff, and I've got my wood here, so I'm just going to build some units and make sure that I can take the fights. I was a bit disappointed that I lost. I was a bit disappointed that I lost. I think all 3 musketeers, but that was kind of clear that was going to happen. And just look at those guys. I mean, they have 360 health. If I had just gone in there, they would have been dead. No questions asked. I've got HP on my guys. I don't think I have the other stuff yet, but yeah. KR on the other side. He sent through, after the 4 healers, he sent through the Aenas, and you also got the big button, if I'm not mistaken. Next shipment is surely going to be something military as well. So now we got all of it out. And he, of course, runs, which is important here, of course. But the problem is, those guys are on the back of his army. Usually, I would have gotten 3 or 4 more units, but that one healer is tanking all of it, like a pro. Look at that. He only lost 200 HP, which would have been, yeah, basically 2 Aenas for the same value. Well, they don't care. They seriously don't care. And here I waste a lot of units again, which was bad, quite bad. So he loved to take that fight, of course. And yeah, there's his chief again. And now, you see that army, you look at it and say, okay, a lot of units that were hit. Well, M.F.D. surely got something in the back. No, he's just trying to build stuff here. Now I thought, yeah, I'm just going to get a wall, get axe bows. I'm going to get a dock here and just, you know, help out my economy that way. Because I knew I was out of hunts, basically. That was the last hunt, and that thing basically emigrated to Canada by this point. So not really a good spot for me. But at the same time, I was laying down my wall, and I thought, yeah, great. Just walls, and that's good. I forgot that he has a dude who has basically a cannonball in his hand and does 232 siege damage. Look at that. He doesn't care. There we go, and that's 3 of them gone, just because I didn't do my pillarless stuff properly, it looks like. Alright. So now, of course, I'm a bit effed, if you want to, you know, call it that. But now, my villas are getting attacked on all sides, and I just pull them back in and try to do some damage. Crossbows coming out from everywhere. The problem is that if the CDPs had something like an attack move, they would be overpowered, surely, in my opinion. But in this situation, I can get a lot of kills here, I think. Now, that was a great shot from him also. He redirected that attack. And now I'm not just trying to kill his entire army, which works more or less, I think. But look at that. Those guys are forcing my crossbowmen into melee all the time. And while I kill a lot of units here, I also lose basically all my villages. So really bad play by me, in my opinion. But at the same time, also an incredibly fun strategy. Because it works. It surprised me on every level possible. And as I said, the first message I sent him was basically, yeah, dude, I wanted to flame you after this game, honestly. But at the same time, now that I've played it, congrats for that creativity. I have to applaud your creativity. And he said, yeah, it's alright. I'm used to being flamed on YouTube. I said, no, man, you know what? If I'm going to do this on YouTube, if that's okay with you, I actually asked him. Because some people don't want to be known for some strategies. Then I'm not going to show this. But if it's okay for you, then I will show this. And I'm not going to flame you. I'm just here to applaud your creativity and to just showcase the build. And now look at that. He's got more army in. Of course, his bastard of a Raven just got all the siege damage that he needs. And that's basically GG for me. As you can see. GG, and there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's the first real message, basically. But I'll give it to you. I think I wanted to say I have to hand it to you. But in that situation, and then we kept on talking for, I think, 5 or 6 more minutes just about the strat and all. But yeah, the general idea is that those guys, the healers, can actually tank a fuck ton of damage. And at the same time, just heal up your army. So that really weird but creative strategy. Getting the first house might be even more efficient than just going for the TC, because it houses most civs immediately. So for civs that are house dependent, like like France or Germany, India probably as well, if you think about it closely, then you really could do a lot of stuff there with your explorer, to be honest. India a bit problematic because you will probably be caught by the Minutemen. But if you don't, you know, then you just get that guy back, and you could work with the market, with the plaza, and just have your healers back here on the plaza, and just, you know, have one heal and the others go for XP while they heal up your units, and then you have your shipments in even faster. Like, it's just, I'm just giving you ideas because the German league is coming to an end for this season, and we have a few games upcoming that are going to be interesting. We have basically we have the relegation games coming up, so those games that decide whether people are stepping up one notch to the next league, or, you know, being put down into a lower league, and so on and so forth. And if I see this strat here in one of those leagues, in one of those relegation games, I would be happy. If it works for the guy that it works for. If you play it and completely, you know, F's you over, hey, sorry, not my fault. But for those of you who enjoy Howder and who want to add this weird strategy to their portfolio, this is on 1500 elo. The dude is on 1500 elo as well, and he said that this strategy is heavily underrated, or generally speaking, Lakota Town Destroyer is heavily underrated. Hey, have a go for it, man. Honestly, if you want to, just have a go for it. Try it out and see what you can do with it. I would be happy to cast one of these games, honestly, and to see how the German League fares with the Town Destroyer build. But that's it from me, guys. KR, thanks for the games. I hope you are happy how I presented this game of yours and this strategy of yours. And to everybody else who made it through the end, although it's not their native tongue, English, I'm glad you're here, guys. Most of my content here is going to be in German, though, so I have to warn you, if you're here for the English stuff, then you should probably check out ESOC TV and not this channel, because on ESOC I often get to cast, and that's in English, but German stuff, it all ends here, and therefore this channel is mostly German. Well, that's it from my side. Have a good one, and I wish you all the best. Good day.